Hello families, faculty, and the class of 2024. My name is Peyton Painter, and I have the pleasure of introducing this year's valedictorian, Shiva Kruthi Palpanoori. I've known Shiva since freshman year when she joined Mr. Brady's AP World History class as a Zoom square on his whiteboard. She remained a mystery until we met her on exam day, and I'm pretty sure she outscored all of us, even after taking the class virtually. Yet despite this unconventional start to a new school, Shiva has impacted various areas of our school throughout her 4 years here. From serving in leadership roles such as President of NHS, President of the Triune Music Honor Society, and Secretary of Spanish Honor Society, all within her senior year. She has also been a member of multiple clubs such as Brainy Bears, Young Investors Society, Minority Student Achievement Advising, and finally English Honor Society. To think I even know what some of those were is pretty impressive. Yet what is probably Shiva's coolest impact on our school is Bradford's Day of Culture. This day, created and planned by Shiva, aimed to bring attention to all the different cultures represented in the school. It is truly an amazing day where students and families can learn and see our world's cultures. Now, if all these activities were not enough, Shiva has excelled in the classroom, obviously seeing she's about to come up here and give a speech, winning awards such as Bradford Prep's Outstanding Junior and Outstanding Senior Awards, the 4.0 Scholar Award, serving as a junior marshal, and achieving academic awards for AP US Government and Politics, English 2, AP Language and Composition, AP Calculus as a junior, as well as receiving the AP Capstone Diploma and AP Research Award. To keep this list going, Shiva is also a National Merit Scholarship recipient, North Carolina Governor's School attendee for mathematics, and Hobie Leadership Seminar attendee. Finally, this is not Shiva's first graduation this year. A couple weeks ago, she achieved her Associate in Arts degree from Central Piedmont Community College by taking classes through our dual enrollment program. In the fall, Shiva will continue her education at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, majoring in economics and minoring in computer science, hoping to become a CEO. What a dream. Yeah. Now that's enough of me talking. Please join me in congratulating and welcoming Bradford Prep's class of 2024 valedictorian to the stand, Shiva Kruthi Palpanoori.
Thank you so much, Peyton. You're a real one for that. This is the part where my alarm usually goes off and I wake up and I realize that everything I witnessed was a dream. But my alarm hasn't gone off yet, so forgive me, but my brain is a little slow today. On a more serious note, ladies and gentlemen, it is truly my biggest honor to be standing here today representing Bradford Prep's class of 2024. Class of 2024, we made it. And in the process of making it here, I didn't realize the amount of beautiful memories that we shared together. And hearing about those memories just a few moments ago definitely brought tears to my eyes. But my most favorite memory of Bradford will always be our legendary presidential election of sophomore year. The candidates were yours truly, Shiva the Diva, and some other dude that worked at Pop Boys, but he wasn't that important. Class of 2024, do you remember watching commercials with diss tracks, heated debates over key policy issues, and finally voting for your favorite candidate? Yeah? And I'm sure you also remember that you all betrayed me by not making me win. I'm still very offended by that. No, I'm just kidding. It was way more fun being the Senate Majority Leader and criticizing the president's every single move. Now I know what you might be thinking. Losing was your favorite memory? Girl, how are you a valedictorian? And trust me, I've been asking myself that question for the past week, but let me explain. Even though I lost the election, I don't think I lost in life. Because after I lost, so many of you came up to me in the hallways, at lunch, or even in class, and said stuff like, hey, your commercial was hilarious. Or hey, you're a total girl boss and you should have won that thing. Or my personal favorite, hey, I didn't even know you existed until that election, but you're pretty cool. And these conversations, as silly as they were, started my friendship with most of you. And these friendships have lined the pages of my high school journey in unforgettably beautiful ways. As a thank you for the friendships you've given me, I wanted to give you something, a gift. And after becoming your valedictorian, I was told to speak about the future. But if I'm being honest with you, I have no idea what the future holds. I am just as terrified as you are. Actually, I take that back. I'm probably more terrified. Like my mom won't be there to make me lunch every day in college. Y'all, I don't know if I can make it. So I don't know the future, but I do know us. I know that we were the ones that went through high school during a global pandemic. I know that we were the ones praying that our test grades wouldn't drop our math grades every single test. Yeah? And then I know that we were the ones that had to listen to Miss Little's lectures when we did something wrong. Just kidding, Miss Little, we love you. And I know that we were the ones juggling schools, sports, extracurriculars, jobs, internships, responsibilities, families, friendships, relationships, and so much more these past 4 years. And because we went through all that, I know that we are resilient. And as resilient individuals, I have no doubt that every single one of us has the ability to endure whatever life may throw at us. Life itself is like an airplane. You see, after an airplane takes off and reaches a certain height, it starts to tilt downward in little motions called rolls to stabilize itself and reach new heights. So after you take off from Bradford today, expect there to be little downward tilts within your journey. While they'll bring you down in the short term, I promise you, they'll help you stabilize yourself and reach new heights in the long term. While you do reach new heights, there may be many things that you can't control. But there is always one thing that you can control: your character. Class of 2024, I lost both of my grandparents to the COVID-19 pandemic during freshman year. It's been really hard, especially on days like today, where I can't see the proud smiles that I dreamt of seeing all my life. But if there's one thing I learned from my grandparents and their passing, it's this. The legacy that you leave behind isn't the money you make, the success you get, the degrees you earn, or even the fame you get. The legacy that you leave behind is your character. So, class of 2024, here is my gift to you. Always remember, you can lose wealth, but most times, with time, you can gain it back. You can lose health, but most times, with the help of doctors and technology, you can gain it back. But once it comes to good character, you may never gain it back no matter how hard you try. So be cautious with how you portray yourself and let your good character shine within all your actions. Whatever you're doing at life and wherever you are, always remember to choose happiness. Despite what you might think, happiness is a choice, and you all have beautiful smiles that are sometimes too cute to handle. Speaking of happiness, I know that we are all super happy to be here tonight, but we wouldn't have gone this far if it wasn't for the help of so many around us. So at this time, I'd like to take a quick moment to thank some of the people who helped us get here today. Miss Little, you've taught us to be the reason someone smiles, and I hope I was the reason you smiled today. Miss Malta, you've taught us to never ever underestimate the energy a pregnant lady can have. Miss Chumes, you've taught us to approach every question with confidence, She does that with like a southern accent, but I could not do it. So just imagine it in your head, okay? Mr. Brady, you've taught us that the way to your heart is definitely Star Wars. Mr. Hubert, you've taught us to make good life choices, which we didn't do sometimes, so sorry about that. And last, and sadly, Mr. Creech, you've taught us that all chocolate we eat basically comes from child labor. I didn't appreciate that. I've stopped eating chocolate ever since, so you're welcome. Bradford staff, thank you. Thank you for always putting in 110% of your effort to make sure we have the most successful and memorable high school journey. Thank you for forgiving our naive mistakes and giving us second chances. Thank you for getting to know us as people rather than just your students. To the entire Bradford community, a big thank you for giving us a family we can always rely on. That deserves a round of applause, please. Next, I'd like to thank all the siblings who may be with us today for helping us by, I was supposed to think of something important you did, but you didn't really do anything important. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you to all the siblings in the audience, including my younger brother, Mr. Palpanoori, for filling our childhood and our high school journey with some bullying, some tears, but lots of love and lots of laughs. Thank you to all the dads in the audience. You guys made terrible, terrible dad jokes and ruined some of our good days, but you never failed to lighten up some of our darkest days. Thank you for being there to catch us as we stumbled and fell along our journey. To my dad, Mr. Valedictorian Palpanoori, thank you. If the little girl that once didn't even know how to speak English is standing in front of you as valedictorian of her high school, it's all because of my dad. Dad, you've always been and will always be the backbone of my success. The biggest thank you goes to all the moms in the audience who I know are going to be taking millions of pictures as we cross the stage, but don't use flash, okay? You guys planted the seeds to our success since day one, and you were always there to celebrate our best moments, but most importantly, you were there to hold our hands during our worst times. To my mom, Mrs. Maheshwari Palpanoori, thank you. Ma, you've taught me the powerful power of forgiveness, and I don't know if I'll ever fill your big shoes, but I promise I'll always keep trying. Last, but definitely not least, thank you, class of 2024. Thank you for giving me the best 4 years of my life. Thank you for all the cringy dance moves that I witnessed at homecoming and prom. Thank you for all the complaining you did when we actually had to do work, even in PE. Thank you for the lessons you've taught me. Thank you for the friendships you've given me. The moments I spent with you will forever be ingrained in my heart. As I look at all your faces today, it's hard for me to believe that the innocent little freshmen I knew 4 years ago are sitting in front of me as thriving individuals about to become the next waiters, waitresses, store clerks, artists, pilots, engineers, CEOs, nurses, doctors, and so much more. You are all uniquely talented in your own ways, and I have no doubt that every one of you has the ability to prosper. So when you do become famous, don't forget me, okay? Because I will be reaching out. With that, I wish you good luck for your future, class of 2024, and want to remind you one last time before I run for president again. Don't be a diva. Always vote for Shiva.